humans, it's just Martine, and welcome to the start of another weekly reading vlog. It's November 14th at 8:46 a.m. and today has already been off to a great reading start because it's the last day of the 75 hard reading challenge that I've been doing with some of my friends. And before I updated this vlog here now talking to you, I finished. So I did my 30 minutes of movement this morning, I did a clogging workout, and then I did 30 minutes of backlist physical reading, and I did my 30 minutes of backlist ebook reading. So I am free from this challenge, which is so exciting and really good because I have lots of library books that I need to get to right now. Because another exciting thing happened. Yesterday, I was just sitting in my room, thinking, and then I was like, can I get a library card for here, like the public library system here, now that I moved here? Can I get one of those online? At my undergraduate school, I couldn't get one of the local library cards unless I went into the library, and I never found a ride and was able to actually go and do that. But I went online and I did manage to secure a public library card for here, which means I, for now, for the first time in my life, have 2 libraries on Libby, which is so exciting. So I went a bit crazy looking at books, so lots of library reading to do. So it should be an interesting reading week all around. I do already have a review for you. Technically, I finished reading this book yesterday, but I'd already ended out my weekend vlog, so I'll just tell you here that yesterday I finished reading O.C. Daniel, and I gave it 2.5 stars. My thoughts on this feel a little complex to me, because on the one hand, it was own voices, OCD representation, for, I think it was intended for a middle grade audience, so I really appreciated that. On the other hand, there were things that I was just not enjoying about this story. For one, I don't know why it's like the plot point in middle grade books to have somebody dealing with their own life and then there's like a little bit of a mystery. The mysteries almost never matter to me. Like, what's happening with the characters matters to me. But the authors always want to introduce this little mystery to be like, there's a plot. I don't want a plot. So for this, the mystery element, like, really, I didn't care about it at all. Additionally, although the point of the story was that the main character did not know he had OCD and he figured it out along the way, some of the ways in which he talked about himself that were then never challenged or corrected, I think was maybe not the best depiction, because like he was like, I'm crazy, blah blah blah. He kept calling himself crazy, and I was like, you're not crazy. But later on, he like never corrected that. He was like, I was wrong to call myself crazy all those times that I previously did. I just have mental health issues. No, he instead went like the opposite direction, where like he embraced the fact. He was like, yeah, I'm messed up. And that's actually where the title this book came from. They had like nicknames that were basically making fun of the fact that they were unwell, and his ended up being O.C. Daniel. And I was like, we all cope in different ways, but I don't think that's helpful or funny. It was a weird thing, but I really did appreciate the author in his author's note was talking about the fact that he really tried to reflect what he was going through at the time that he was the age of this character. He put a lot of himself in his story, and those things I appreciated. But I think correcting the mental distortions about being unwell is necessary. And also, okay, he had good parents. It appeared he had like good parents that cared and they paid attention to him, but they never caught on. And by the time the story was done, he had not yet had a conversation with them about this. And I was like, I know that he was trying really hard to hide it, but I was like, this is, his level of functionality was like completely, they would have noticed it. Right? They were paying attention to him. They were being good parents. And I was like, what is this? And he didn't talk to them about it. And I was like, that's weird. Because like, I think it would have been encouraging for young readers to see like, oh, this character talking to his parents about it. So like, that's a hard conversation to have, to say like, I'm struggling to your parents sometimes, but like this character did it, but he didn't. So I was like, I just feel really complex about that, because I do appreciate the heart that the author put into the story, but there were just things about it that I took issue with, which is fine. Last night, I started Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood. Really enjoying that. Don't know when I'll finish it. It's a really short audiobook, but I was listening to it while I was falling asleep, so I'm not sure if I'll keep doing that or just like binge read the rest of it, but I'm like 30% of the way into it now. I did not sleep well last night. Making pretty good progress in The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. Hopefully I'll finish this Honestly, I'm hoping to finish this today, but we'll see. And that's how it is. That's where I'm at this Monday morning. Oh, except that I did spill hot chocolate on myself. Luckily, it was not like hot at the time. It had cooled down significantly. It was just warm chocolate at that point, but yeah, that was unfortunate. So let's get to it. It's almost 8 p.m. and I just finished The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. I'm going to give this 3 stars. There were things I really enjoyed about this book, but ultimately I think there were portions that I found unnecessary or where the pacing dragged a little bit for me. I have to say, this did not have many action sequences, and for that I was supremely grateful. I like the idea of reading a pirate-involved book, but I know that pirate-involved books often come with combat scenes, and I do not like combat scenes. This gave me pirates without a ton of combat scenes, so thank you. Plus queer, so we love. I definitely think this was like a solid book overall. It just wasn't going to be my new favorite thing, and I kind of knew that going in. That was my assumption. This is about this girl, and she's going on this ship to meet her future husband or whatever, and then this other main character is a pirate on that ship. The first main character does not know she's on a pirate ship. She thinks she has safe passage, but it's like this whole ruse that they pull on people to sell them into slavery, and they end up falling in love. That's a story, but it's also a bit of a fantastical world. There are mermaids, there are witches, but it wasn't like a deep magic situation, which I really appreciated. It was just like a bit light, fantastical. We didn't have to delve too much into it. I didn't need to put too much thinking space into the magic of this, which I appreciated. So overall, for an adventure book, I really enjoyed this, and now it's done. It is only shortly thereafter, but I just finished reading Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood. I'm giving it 4 stars. What I have to say about Ali Hazelwood is, so far, for the 2 things I've read by her, I always fully believe that the main characters are into each other. Like, that's one of my main problems with romance books, is I'm like, I don't feel like they actually have a connection. And like, from the very start of this book, I was like, they have a connection. That's a very clear connection. I believe that connection. There were some times when like, there were a couple scenes I wasn't sure about. Some choices were made that I was like, maybe not. But overall, this was just so well done. Like, just a snapshot of these characters' relationship. Enemies to lovers. I ship it. I like them together. It was a good time. It was a good time. And that's on that. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday morning, just past 7 a.m. This morning I went to the track, and while I was walking, I read the first 50 pages of School for Psychics. So my reading goal today for this will be to read another 50 pages, get to page 100. So far I'm really enjoying it. It's not reading as fast as some other books, like amount of time per page wise, but it feels like it's going fast and it's holding my attention. So far enjoying this. That's like the only specific goal I have reading wise for today, because it's my first day of freedom from the 75 hard reading challenge. So I'm just like, you can read whatever you want. Hopefully in a few days I'll get back to some type of structure, because like I'm still in the middle of a physical book that I need to get done. Like I didn't end the challenge at the end of books. I'm in the middle of those books, so I still have to finish them, but for right now, I'm just gonna read whatever my little heart desires. Well, except that it has to be, I have to be making progress in my library books, because as I said at the beginning of the vlog, we have some progress to make there, but this counts for that. So, and it's so shiny. It's Thursday, and reading progress is being made slowly behind the scenes. Yesterday, I finished School for Psychics by K.C. Archer, and I gave this 3.5 stars. I do have to say this was compulsively readable, but there were parts of the narrative that didn't feel very coherent to me. It did end on kind of a cliffhanger, but I have the second book sitting right there, so that shouldn't be an issue. I really like the way this book feels in my hands too, so that's always a bonus when I'm reading. This is about this girl, her name's Teddy, and she's a really good gambler. She can always just tell when people are bluffing, but she's been banned from every casino in Las Vegas. and she's really in debt to this one person, so she's in a lot of trouble. All of a sudden at a casino, she gets approached about joining this law enforcement school for psychics, and things just kind of go from there. I do have to say, this had like lots of different elements to it that I enjoyed. It was like the school trope, it was like the orphan trope, it was like a mystery, and just it was all very interesting things put together. So I'm definitely intrigued to see where the second book goes. I'm not immediately going to start the second book because I'm reading a book for a different vlog right now, and I did not know that it was about psychics, and I started reading it while I was in the middle of this, and I was like, this is so confusing. So I'm gonna hold off on that second book until I finish that other book, but I did enjoy this, so that's on that. I've also made progress in other reads. For the Alexis Hall book I'm reading, Paris Delancourt, I don't know how you pronounce his name. Anyway, that one, I'm now officially 50% of the way through. It's kind of slow going, but I think I'm enjoying it. We'll have to see how it pans out. Pans out? It's about baking. Cool. Today is my busiest day. I probably won't have much reading time even this evening because I'm grabbing dinner with a friend, and then I also have a game night. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Kind of worried about it all because I have class and then brown bag, a research meeting, dinner, game night. So it's like, but I did get some grading done in my bed this morning, so at least there's that. It always feels nice to accomplish something outside of the places I have to be in a day. But yep, that's where we're at. It's Friday night and I'm about to get ready, grab my stuff, and leave to go to Friendsgiving with the other students in my department. But I wanted to check in with you first. Today I started the Sanatorium because Bailey, Ruby, and I are buddy reading it. I think, so Kayla's read it before, but I don't know if she's planning on rereading it for this. But anyway, she's in the chat to discuss it with us regardless. But Ruby, Bailey, and I are reading it for the first time. So we're reading like 25% of it every day for the next 4 days. So it started today. I read my 25%. I'm honestly not sure if I'm going to read anything else today because I don't know what time I'm going to get back from Friendsgiving. So there's that. But also, I slept, like I took a 3-hour nap this morning. So I don't know if I'll just feel more awake than normal or what. Regardless, it's been a long day, mainly of grading. So we'll just see on the reading front. I would really like to get my 100 pages of my physical library book done for the day, but I really don't think I will, and I'm just gonna let that go because tomorrow I have all day to read whatever I want. So I'll definitely make up those pages tomorrow. I'm going with a sporty look this evening. Right, I've got this type of jacket, got my joggers, these shoes from Old Navy. So a sporty, chic look. And so far the Sanatorium, my brain is jumping all over the place. I'm enjoying it. I'm interested to see what happens. I have questions that I want answers to, so we'll see. I have more content than I want already for this vlog, so I'm just going to end it off here while my video is exporting. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what are you in the middle of reading right now, and subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!